yeah, he treat him like a baby. All the shawty's taking all his cash. Please don't stare, he might we'll get him money, come on my respect. Way too many niggas in the cut, I love them. Always wish we get the first blow. I don't care, I'll just pretend I guess I'm better than these other chumps.
Alright, so hello everyone, welcome to RUNG 6 of Ladder League Season 2. We got all the runners just getting ready here. This is RUNG 6, so that's the second lowest rung, meaning if the loser of this race will be I believe in the double elim match next week. So I think as our runners are getting ready here, we're gonna get started fairly soon.
Yeah. I think this is gonna be a very exciting match. CHARZIGHT kind of got wrongly seeded with his PB of 235, even though his PB was 3 minutes better, and also CHARZIGHT's sub, as we can see there, is 222.43, which is also really good compared to his PB. And CHARZIGHT now recently just got the sub 230. And KWAZRR was saying how far behind CHARZIGHT he is, but then KWAZRR just pulled out at 230, which is insane. So he's gone much closer. And from THENZOTA, I think we can see the most entertaining strategies from THENZOTA.
Yeah. Yeah, Zota is going to be especially interesting. I know he's very well known for his blindfolded runs. I doubt we're going to be seeing too much of blindfolded runs trickle into a sided any percent, but it's still interesting that he's, put all that effort into something so different. And then we got CHARZIGHT, who is an very experienced Harry Potter 1 through 4 runner. Also been running any percent for quite a while, I believe. Also a little bit of LIJ1 actually. Then we got KWAZRR, who also extensive Lego experience. Many world records and actually Harry Potter 5 through 7, and then his improvement in TCS specifically has been really insane. Getting into some gameplay here with KWAZRR actually. Looks like the stream has him doing actual gameplay first. That's interesting. KWAZRR electing to not kill the droids at the end of the corridor. I don't know if that's really a normal strat. Or taking a death with Obi-Wan there.
I think KWAZRR like had problems where the droids started shooting him exactly when he was trying to force them.
Yeah,
So
I don't know if
then
that's
they
his
went
normal
off
strat.
screen. I'm not sure, but then they went off screen and then he couldn't force them anymore, so he kind of was having trouble there.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if that's just improvisation from him or what he does every time. But either way, it actually looks like he may... Yeah, looks like he is unfortunately falling a bit behind as Zota and CHARZIGHT are putting down solid 213s and 211s respectively. So quite solid from them. We'll see. Oh, 228. Yeah, that is... Oh, KWAZRR losing some time there. I don't know if he had ended the level with 0 studs, which you really want. I believe it's like 5 seconds if you don't do that.
It's about 7, and I do believe he ended it. He switched from TC to Qui-Gon at the end to take a death, losing even more time.
Okay. Wait, did he end with 0 studs?
I believe so. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And it looks like all runners except KWAZRR so far. We'll see if he remembers to save after 1-1. He did. Let's go. All right, and we're heading into ICS. I suppose it's not necessarily a night metric, but it can still be something where if you mess up, I believe you lose about 30 seconds, which this early on would be devastating.
See how Zota does this run, as you can see from his sob and also from compared to PBs. Zota is definitely the underdog.
Yeah, yeah, his PB I believe is the slowest in the seed by 5 minutes. And yeah, BPT very big variance in the sub here with the I believe it's like a 222 from CHARZIGHT, 225 from KWAZRR, and 229 or so with Zota. So a very big variance there. Looks like all runners are on pace to get it. I don't want to commentate his curse KWAZRR though. Yeah, it looks like he got it. Oh, and then we might see some deviation in the charge jumps. I don't know if all runners will go for that here. Charles like going for it and nailing it. I respect that as I have never gone for or hit jar jumps in my life. We see Charles like getting log jump. Did KWAZRR pull ahead there? I swear he. Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. KWAZRR failing that second jar jump.
To Zota to back up the first Jar Jar jump because he failed it pretty miserably. Had to get the
Oh
Jedi
yeah.
for it.
Well, that's the one jar jump I do.
Yeah, it is definitely the
So
easiest Jar Jar jump, but in a race situation, anything can happen.
yeah, for sure. And like I said, we didn't see any failed ICS, but it looks like CHARZIGHT will be pulling ahead here with a very, very solid 250 invasion for the 501 exit. I believe CHARZIGHT is the favorite to win this race, although KWAZRR's improvement has been very rapid. He has, I believe, the biggest leaderboard jump in top 100 in TCS history. With Run, he got from, I don't think it was sub 3, it was a over 3 hour run into a 243, and then just 3 weeks after that, he's been grinding to get down to a 230 in just 3 weeks. So incredible improvement we've seen very, very recently.
Yeah, he went. His delta was minus 25 minutes, and he golded like I think every split, which was insane.
Yeah. And I guess that shows his sob is improvable because he actually, compared to these other runners, has a low amount of attempts at only 100, while Zota with 700 and CHARZIGHT with 900 attempts. So perhaps that sob isn't even like a full like telling of KWAZRR's potential in this game or this race.
Yeah, and even Charizard being the favorite, I don't know how much you know about Charizard's race history, but it's not the greatest. He is not known for being the best, usually in race performances. So we'll hopefully see him do well today.
Yeah. Did he race in the ladder league last year?
Mm, I think that's where those things came from. I'm not actually 100% sure, but I assume that's
Okay.
where the status came from, kind of.
Yeah. And even without the like nerve control skill, it's only lead in the like PB. It's only a lead by a minute. So and in this game, that minute can change in like one or two splits, as we've seen, especially in some of the races in previous ladder league. But also just that's just how this game works. Just can randomly melt down on a level and just lose over a minute.
I
We
agree
see
that
Charizard.
in it,
I believe that was a solid escape dragon.
yeah. So what I was about to say that Yeah, episode 1 definitely not that much variance, and when we get to the later episodes, it's still anyone's game.
Yep. Oh, KWAZRR almost. I think that was almost a fail. It just had to go up to the other characters, but it looks like everyone having solid escapes. As usual, I believe it's arguably the easiest level in the run. So very, very low variance in that level, especially if you hit everything. Looks like uh CHARZIGHT has a 30-second lead? No, 20 seconds, sorry. About a 20 or so second lead over everyone else, which is could just be down to movement or maybe just the smoother invasion. But where this race is about to actually get very interesting because pod race uh, is a level that, without the recently discovered trick, is already a super variant, super sketchy level. Because if you fail a trick, you either lose. If you fail pod fraud, you lose 30 seconds or you lose 2 minutes. But with the new strat, there's saves a full minute. We're gonna be seeing. I won't spoil who's going for what, but we're gonna be seeing some pretty strong deviations in strats here, and some very high risk, especially as Charizard goes into this level. He's definitely going to be someone to watch.
Called him P2. And we are going for Godfather lap 1. Boss looks okay. Yeah, barely gets out and does not get the hype boost. He's trying to back this up. This
Oh,
is this is extremely hard to back up. If you've ever tried this trick, you know
I'm
how
not.
hard it is.
I just know that Godfraud is incredibly difficult for saving a minute. It's so hard, and he's going for it in this no reset setting. Which is that it? Did he get it?
He is struggling because he didn't get enough hype boost. He's getting pulled in by the track. This is really unfortunate. And Zoda also did not get a hype boost at all, deciding
Did
to
Zora go
completely
for it?
abandon the trick. Yeah, Zoda
Okay.
code for it. Went for it, but he abandoned the trick. He didn't get any hype boost.
And I don't believe KWAZRR went for it just then, which could see him getting quite a gain. I don't know how fast Charizard's lap one there was, whether he even got the trick in the first place, but doesn't look like it was ideal. Okay, he got lap two, it
Charizard,
looks like.
Charizard definitely not gaining any time from that God route, but at least he's not backwards in the track.
Yeah. Okay. Doesn't look like Zora went for lap three, am I correct in saying that?
Zoda is in lap 2 skip right now.
Did Charizard just alt tab during the pod race cutscene?
Charizard is gonna do lap 3, and the pause looks kind of late, but I think it's good to still clip out. And he's clipped out. Oh no, and he gets the smack your head hype boost variant. That is very unfortunate.
What is going? I'm so lost. I'm so confused right now. Wow.
That was really unfortunate. That really should have been it. And he's backing it up.
He
This should
backs that
work.
up.
It worked, and he's getting it.
I am perplexed. I hold like I hardly know how like regular pod fraud works, and when you get to God fraud, that's just like lost on me. Uh, so that looks like an incredibly variant pod race, but looks like Charizard has full flat, which I believe loses time over pod fraud. So that's very, very interesting. Do you want to? Because I have no idea personally, Dragon. Do you want to explain how, like, how God fraud works? Because I couldn't tell you. And I know you know how to do at least lap one, if I'm correct in saying that.
I do, yes. I don't know the full stuff behind it, but basically at the start of both laps, you can kind of get your players separated. And it kind of works like a super jump. When you drop out P2 on keyboard and you hold a D-pad direction on a second unassigned controller, it drops P2 back in immediately and kind of drops it in between the player 1 and player 2 spots, which if you hold certain angles and pause at a certain time, it's going to be out of bounds, the spot between them. And then there's a very specific spot you have to drop out P1 in so you can get a height boost on player 2 and go really far out of bounds and skip lap 1 and lap 3.
Yeah, and it looks like this incredibly variant pod race has resulted in KWAZRR and ZOTA switching positions there, with KWAZRR now in second by only 17 seconds, having the fastest pod race, doing the safest strats, which is fascinating to see. It's what you get in a no-reset race, I guess. So going to this feed here, CHARZIGHT doing an interesting room 1 strat, no theta. And then we see... Oh, and we see KWAZRR going for theta. Okay. That is... Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't know. He got pushed by the Droideka there. Okay, he backed it up. He backed it up well. I don't know if that saves time over the other strat, but he still backed it up, and looks like Zota's also not going for theta.
Definitely did not save time over what ZOTA and CHARZIGHT are doing, so the going for feeder clip did not pay off here.
I believe that only saves about 2 seconds. Am I correct in saying that, Dragon?
It really depends on how fast you go. I think you can, if you go extremely fast, it can save up to 5.5, but saving 5.5 of it every time is extremely unrealistic. So it's about 3 or 4 seconds usually.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so we see CHARZIGHT going for fairly regular elevator strats here, and to the big theater room. CHARZIGHT, even after that little pod race time losses, he's still ahead by a good amount here, I will say. Let's see what strats will we see here. Will ZOTA go for left side? And KWAZRR going for regular elevator strats as well.
It's going for left side.
Oh, wow.
This is what I was saying about ZOTA is gonna
Oh, he misses that jump. That can't be good. He falls off with Obi-Wan here. Okay, he gets it second try with Qui-Gon, and he gets it with Obi-Wan. Okay, Okay, for a sec I thought they were gonna fall back down at the ground there. I forget how this level's laid out. I don't know if that left side feed saved any time. With that like little falling down thing. I don't believe it did.
I would agree, because left side only saves about 2 seconds against
A lot of small optimizations in this level, small strat variations, and looks like just small mistakes are almost cancelling out the time loss for these runners.
Yeah, both the left side and the feeder clip in this run from KWAZRR and ZOTA both just not paying off here.
And CHARZIGHT ironically going for the safest strats here after Godfraud, and it looks like it's working out for him so far. Because this looks like, I believe, a fairly clean feed from CHARZIGHT. However, while we do have the small time losses that occurred with the riskier strats in this feed, it doesn't look like there's been any major meltdowns that could happen. Like, it looks like everyone nailed the out of bounds nicely. Looks like CHARZIGHT has a fairly solid feed under his belt for this run.
503. That is definitely fine. I think. Or I think he's like somewhat content with that.
Yeah. And it is a race setting, so you can't reset, so you have to be happy with what you get there. Looks like KWAZRR is maintaining his lead over ZOTA, but we'll see if it'll be enough, because if he doesn't get if he gets anything slower than about a 2:35, then he will get leapfrogged and stay in Rung 6, the dangerous Rung 6, with the double elim match next week. So he's hoping to not only get top 2 in this race, but also get beyond Anonymous's time he put up. Amazing time in rung 7 of 2:35.09, I believe. Yes, 2:35.09 is the race that is the time that second place wants to beat. See CHARZIGHT going to lamp jump. Oh, casually getting it. That's very nice. Yeah, looks like
So
KWAZRR gained 7 seconds on Zota here. Wow. Solid lamp jump from KWAZRR. Oh, CHARZIGHT taking a death in DM2, but... And we'll see Zota going into lamp jump here. Or wiggling on that line a bit. I think that cost the attempt. Okay. Let's see if we can... Oh, jumping a bit early there, I believe, not getting enough distance. Okay, this should get it. Okay, third try. That is not time save you want in last place, but it's just, again, it's no reset race. You just have to take what you get. And we have both other runners, CHARZIGHT and KWAZRR, going into DM3 here.
yeah, at least Zota got the full card as some kind of compensation, I guess.
How much does that little like optimization for cart, like the cart strat at the end of that room there, how much do you think that would like save, ideally?
Do you mean versus failing it or versus not doing it?
Versus not doing it.
I think it saves a second, ideally, I believe. I could be wrong. I think
Alright.
it's about a second.
Now we'll see if runners will be going for and hitting more cycle skips, just a small little 5-second time save, but it is technically frame perfect, I believe.
Yeah. So in Dooku, so Dooku is set to jump away once you hit it by 2 hearts. But if you do 2 damages on the
Oh,
same
CHARZIGHT not getting it.
frame, you actually don't make him jump away. But CHARZIGHT misses both of them, so we won't see it from him.
We see KWAZRR going into cycle skips himself. We'll see if he can close this lead, I suppose, with a more solid more. With the, if he goes for cycle skips, actually, looks like he's going for it. Oh, misses it as well. It's looking to be like a very similar mold from what I've seen from CHARZIGHT and KWAZRR.
Get the second cycle skip though.
Oh, solid. So KWAZRR might be gaining a little bit in this mold because of that. I'm not sure how much that like form of cycle skip saves.
Should be around 4 seconds. CHARZIGHT finishing
21,
up episode 1.
21:08. I believe he's gotten about like in the low 20s for episode 1s or episode 1s, considering he goes for pod fraud or god fraud, sorry. So we don't know whether he would be like happy with that. And 21:37 followed closely behind 29 seconds in episode 1 with KWAZRR.
Yeah, I think CHARZIGHT, with being like well into the lead, can definitely be content with that episode 1.
Yeah, for sure. Even if the god fraud didn't work out, I think just generally he, I suppose he would be like a bit more of an experienced TCS player. I believe, if my notes are correct, he has been running actively for a pretty, like, a decently long time. A decently long time, I'd like to say.
Yeah.
CHARZIGHT taking a while on that load, I'm pretty sure. Classic, my...
I hope CHARZIGHT's game capture is fine.
It could be game capture, you're right, it could be game capture. To be fair, my game, as a laptop player, my game does take about 20 seconds to load. Uh, so we're gonna probably be seeing a massive deviation as a result of that from what you're seeing on screen to the actual places of the runners. Because
Yeah,
KWAZRR and THENZOTA look like
usually it takes a
CHARZIGHT. It might be game capture from CHARZIGHT there, actually.
yeah, we would hope to see it come back. This is a really long time for
Either that or
CHARZIGHT
he has a
not
potato
having
PC.
true, I guess. So the gap between Zoda and KWAZRR being 20 seconds and CHARZIGHT and KWAZRR being 30 seconds. So none of the runners are that insanely close. So after episode 1, we have clearly set who is the leader, who's the second place,
Oh
and
my god.
who has
I
to
just
catch up.
Yeah. I'm just on CHARZIGHT stream now. It did in fact capture, it's just taking a while, so up to that. Yeah. Okay, that took like 2 minutes, but I think it's fine. So I see him going into BHB here. All of them going for 1P2C. Suppose that can also be almost be expected.
At least Charizard performing pretty well, hitting the lights and torpedoes.
Yeah.
KWAZRR kind of doing an interesting route, but it ends up working out.
Yeah, this level is definitely, I'd say, one of the harder vehicle levels for sure. Especially the 1P2C can be incredibly tough because firstly, the lights, they have insane hitboxes. And the camera's insanely bad, and the ship handling is insanely bad, so casually it can be very hard to hit the lights. And speedrunning wise, it can be it can be very difficult to consistently hit the lights there.
Yeah, definitely. That depth perception in this room is definitely not the best.
Okay. Looks like the runners are hitting the lights just fine though. And also, actually, the other piece of variance in this level, the torpedoes, they can suck sometimes, and it's not really your fault. They either lose time because they take a very long time to hit the thing, or they just don't hit and you have to get new ones.
Usually bad at targeting should be your fault, but sometimes when you are facing it, feels like it isn't. But then 9 times out of 10, if you don't get the insta targets, it should be your fault, pretty much.
Yeah. And it looks like at least CHARZIGHT and KWAZRR both had very solid BHPs. Looking fairly similar, I think. Uh, KWAZRR's may have been slower. Oh, it looks similar, and it looks like CHARZIGHT is still holding a very solid lead into this Camino here.
Yeah, we'll see how they perform in this level and also what skips they will do. I assume everyone is going for R4 flight and Camino clip, but KBS is the one
ABS, yeah.
that we will
Now,
see some variance on.
now I got some insight from before the race, and this is interesting. CHARZIGHT will be going for KBS, but KWAZRR will not. Because suppose CHARZIGHT's just a riskier player, and that could be to his advantage later in the race, yeah, as we see him go for more risky strats. KWAZRR barely getting R4 fly there. Look, that looked very close to R4 falling down there. So we
Charizard
should
is
see
setting up
CHARZIGHT.
for
Looks like he's setting up for KBS. Let's see how he goes. Oh, looking okay. Well, CHARZIGHT hitting it, but also KWAZRR is going for it. I did not like think he would go for a risky strat, but I suppose given his how far behind he is, he falls off. I don't know how bad that is.
Be good if he just
Okay, I
gets
think
his
it's
respawn. Thank God.
so that's some unfortunate time loss that KWAZRR is very much not looking for here.
I think the result KWAZRR got is still pretty good. Getting the respawn out of bounds and not and knowing exactly what the correct backup is.
Very solid. That knowledge of backups, I suppose, could come in useful later in this race. Oh my
And
god,
all
Zota also going for KBS. Everyone's going for KBS. This is insane. How much does that trick save Dragon? Because it's very risky to go for I believe how little it actually saves.
saves about 7 seconds over doing the normal buttons, which is completely free. But if you miss it, usually it loses like about 17. At least if you
17,
miss it, like
wow.
if you miss
Alright,
like getting out of bounds. I'm not sure about missing the movement. Could be even more.
alright, looks like Charizard's going into Camino clip here. This is important because we need to get through this room, I believe, fairly fast. Because of Jedi Battle RNG manipulation. Looks like he's getting it. Hope he did not hit the cutscene trigger, so looks like he got it just fine. And right on cue, we see KWAZRR into the Camino clip here. Oh, missing the power up a little bit. Alright. Oh, I don't know if that was intentional. I don't know if he would be going for Camino clip here, but he just fully forced the bricks.
What it
That
looked
is,
like, it definitely looked like Quasar was like baffled when he accidentally forced the bricks. I definitely
yeah,
believe
he
he
would
was.
have Alpha in a different position if he was fully committing to the safest strat. Oh, we see Zota going for this amazing drop and walk, but it doesn't look like he quite got it. I think that saves like 1 second or something insanely small like that. So it looks like CHARZIGHT is widening his lead even more. What a solid Camino with with two significant time losses from KWAZRR here. Although I don't know if that Camino clip room was slow enough to potentially get a really bad Jedi Battle seed, because it looked like he backed it up quite well to not kill too many droids in there. Oh, Zota looks like he might have missed it or some missed Camino clip or something, because it looks like this he has to back this up. Oh, warping to the top. Oh, he hits the cutscene trigger. Oh, okay. These are looking like rough Caminos from everyone except I suppose, our favorite to win this race, CHARZIGHT. 30-23 out of Camino.
Getting a very solid 450 free. That is a really good result in this race setting.
And that's exactly what he wants, given his sheer lead. I think that's one of the most, probably the most technical level in the first two levels, except maybe a pod race. Definitely the most technical level in episode 2 for sure.
Yeah, definitely the level with usually the biggest variance in race settings. And Zoda is actually the only one who has controller P2, I believe. Like when I look at his P1 movement, it does look like he's on keyboard. So when he went for the drop and warp in the bomb room, that actually only saves time if you have a controller on your P2.
Looks like KWAZRR has about a almost a minute like deficit over CHARZIGHT here. That is not what you want going into this, but episodes 4 and 6, insane amount of variance, I'd like to say, as we go into the original trilogy episodes. Incredibly technical levels, just incredible amount of things that can go wrong, as we've seen before in Ladder League, uh, in general, but also especially this season as well. Charizard going into this very much named Droideka in Droid Factory. Looks like he makes it past that Droideka unscathed. What's the name of that Droideka again? I forget.
It's Frederick or Fred.
Okay. So yeah, looks like everyone has entered Droid Factory now. I like to. Oh, actually, KWAZRR going for a 1P2C here. That's kind of interesting. Oh, opting to. I suppose that's just opting to drop out in Droid Factory rather than in the Camino boss fight.
People do Camino clip then. That is definitely the correct thing to do. Doing Camino clip and dropping out here and
Oh,
not in Camino.
what is this back? Okay, that is an interesting bucket room from CHARZIGHT there, doing the 1P2C and missing the fly with Arthur there.
Yeah, Zoda has a lot of catching up to do. So KWAZRR is 1 minute behind
That
Charizard.
is almost
Zoda
2
is 2
minutes.
minutes. Yeah.
Only half an hour into the race, we already have 2 minute variance. That is. And it wasn't over one thing, it was just over several mistakes over several levels. Just gaps are widening over time. Seeing Charizard going into Lava Room here. Solid camera pan skip there. Let's see if Zoda dies to Frederick here. Oh, he dies to Frederick. How tragic.
Charizard actually doing not opting for the Xenor strats, doing the old way of doing the DI double with R2. And I guess does pay off by it being very consistent.
Yeah. Looks like KWAZRR is now heading into the Lava Room.
I believe we will see Xenor strats from KWAZRR. Never mind. He's also not doing Xenor strats.
Surely Zoda goes for Xeno strats so we can get some like strat variants going on here. Get a strat showcase.
Yeah, I'm honestly shocked that KWAZRR does not do Xenor strats. So I believe Charizard did like get Camino clip and kill one droid, so we will
One droid. So we're looking at seed 1
see.
and 2.
Yes, and KWAZRR I believe killed 2 or 3 while
Okay.
forcing the bricks and opening the panel.
You'll take that because you're still within the first 4 seeds, which seeds 2 and 3, excellent seeds. Seeds 1 and 4, not as good, but they're still solid, I believe. But beyond that, I believe the adjacent seeds are just very bad and will lose you a lot of time, especially if you don't know them, don't know the routes.
Yeah, usually players will know seeds 1 to 4, but very rarely will know, for example, 0 or 5 or 6 or anything above that. And we will see Xenor strats from Zoda here, doing the R2 warp
We
to the
got the
other
strat
side.
variants.
Hell yeah.
Collecting the mini kit, okay. I think that's actually mandatory for RNG minute for definitely.
I would agree.
Just going to Jedi Battle Pillars here, just looking like fairly solid gameplay. And wow, okay, Charizard's already done the pillars, it looks like. So we're gonna be seeing what seed Charizard's gonna get. I believe he said seed 1 or 2. Okay, he did
Not
get the
getting the
droid there.
power up there. I did not know what happened to the power up actually.
This looks like
Charizard. I
it's
did
that's
Charizard miss a droid?
C3, isn't it?
Okay, I
He
might be
shouldn't.
blind.
I think.
He did miss a droid. There
Wait,
was two droids at the beginning. He didn't kill one, but now it actually came from behind. So
what
it's
seed is that? Is that seed 3?
I believe that was seed 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
looks like KWAZRR's going into the RNG waves himself.
and
We'll see
Charizard
if he
kind of
gets a
going
seed.
the
Who
wrong
knows?
way, but still working out really well from him. Looks like seed free for Quasar, I believe. And Zoda having a breakdown on Pillar 1. This is really bad.
This is a classic. I do this all the time.
Yeah, you do this for a living.
What? He is making definitely one of the attempts of all time to kill this droidica. Okay, there we go. We got there in the end.
And Quasar finishing up this seed free. Very nice.
So we saw a bit of a timeless from CHARZIGHT. Does that, like, did that, I suppose narrow the gap between CHARZIGHT and KWAZRR? I wonder. I suppose we'll see when KWAZRR's split goes through. Oh, KWAZRR having a bit of trouble hitting Jengar. So losing some
And
time
and
there.
and Zoda also getting a power up despawn on the second pillar. That sucks. The second pillar is extremely annoying to deal without the power up.
Alright, CHARZIGHT going into gunship here. A short level, but it can be very variant if you get things wrong, especially in this first room here. Let's see CHARZIGHT on first barrier skip, and he nails it. Nice. Now, I've done this way more times than I'd like to admit. Will CHARZIGHT forget EBB? Looks like he won't. Looks like it's probably built into his muscle memory, but... So that's very good, because I believe if you miss that red brick, you have to go back and get it again, which just straight up loses about 2 minutes or so.
Yeah. But if you forget to get it, it's definitely more worth it to get it again than
Yeah,
not
for
get
sure.
it at all.
It's by far the most overpowered red brick in this game, and most used in the speedrun.
And Quasar does actually have a 3 seconds better Jedi battle than Charizard.
That's interesting. Okay, so that narrowed the gap just a little bit. We'll see if that makes a difference later on in the race. Looks like... I don't want to commentator's curse. Let's let KWAZRR hit this. Looks like they both get solid gunship room ones. Zoda falling a bit behind, it looks like, in this Jedi battle. I don't know whether that's just because of the deficit he already had, or he might be losing further time here. Oh, CHARZIGHT. Are we gonna see the runners in 3 different levels in just episode 2? That's what it looks like is happening. CHARZIGHT with a solid 150 gunship. Already incredible amount of variance between all 3 runners just into episode 2.
Is having quite a bit of trouble with the bombs here, and also does not have ghost hearts to make this any easier. Oh, that is not
Oh,
amazing. The
everyone,
mouse
everyone
droid.
except CHARZIGHT struggling on Django a bit here. And yeah, we do have all 3 runners on different levels here. That is crazy this early on in the race. At CHARZIGHT on Dooku skip, let's see if he can not lose 40 seconds in this one try skip. He hits it. Awesome. So this is looking to be an early game of episode 1 and 2 that CHARZIGHT would be probably very happy with, considering the positions of the other runners here.
And Quasar having just a meltdown of a gunship last room and just widening the gap even more.
And then we have Zoda into gunship here. What
Yeah,
was...
the gap just went from a minute to a minute and 30 seconds in gunship.
That's... Oh, that is unfortunate. That's not what KWAZRR's looking for here. Minute and a half. That will be hard to make up in the rest of the run, even with the incredibly variant episodes 4 and 6. Alright. Will we see KWAZRR hitting Dooku Skip here? Looks like he hit it. That's good. We do not want that lead to be widened by another 40 seconds here.
Definitely. I think the Quasar setup, I don't know if like that setup is consistent, but if it's not, it kind of could have been sketchy, but Obi-Wan got to the transition like barely early enough.
What was KWAZRR's 2-5? Oh yeah, KWAZRR with an unfortunate 2-13 join ship.
Zoda also having trouble
How did
with
that? I swear
towing the
that bomb
bomb.
was supposed to hit. Wow.
I think he either
Everyone's.
hit the like the shield thing, or he hit a mouse droid that was hiding behind the like laser
Wow. That
or
is unlucky and not
blaster
what you want to
bolts.
see. Interesting. I don't know if that's a regular strat there, calling in play to during gunship.
A lot of people do that. I don't like to. It's to shoot the last things, and you call in P2 and Dooku anyway, so it's just
Yeah,
for that. I personally don't do it, but a lot of people do.
I was like going for the very, very micro optimization of switching to Obi-Wan right out of the shot. Or switching to Mace Windu to go into the 4-1 door just a little bit faster. And KWAZRR out of episode 2 here. 43.56 versus a 42.28. You're right, this is about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Just out of episode 2.
For Dooku Skip, interesting character management might be because he is on player one keyboard.
All 3 runners hit it. That's good to see. Very consistent skip, but also can be very nerve-wracking because if you mess one thing up, that's just 40 seconds down the drain. And with the position that the runners are in, that is not ideal at all. So as we're finishing up episodes 2 on all runner, oh no, Zoda missed a barrel there. That is interesting. Very interesting strats from Zoda here in this Dooku. But yeah, episodes 4 and 6 are what we're coming up on here for all runners, and this is why we're not calling the race yet at all. We're not even close to that because episodes 4 and 6 are so varying. You have so many levels, so many things can go wrong, losing you so much time. Some problem levels that we've come up on specifically, like Johnland, the spaceport, and like just Princess, like DSC, all especially nightmare levels because you can just get hit once and you lose the helmet, and that can lose a lot of time, very very easily. And they're just generally very very technical levels. So sure, CHARZIGHT has a very strong lead here, but that could easily be just cancelled out and mean nothing if just a few things go wrong in this episode 4 and 6. And we see CHARZIGHT going into secret plans here, looking fairly solid room one. Not I suppose not fully optimized, but you don't need that when you have this much of a lead here. And we see Zoda just trailing, unfortunately quite far behind, just finishing episode 2 here.
Yeah, as we also saw in yesterday's match, how episode of 4 and 6 can, even in Rung 2 match, just make the lead, like get to lead to a different person just in a couple levels. So with these runners who have even more variance with how they perform, we can
Yeah,
definitely possible to see lead changes.
yeah. And it's not just performance or nerve control, it's the strats you choose to go for, the strats you know, and like whether you choose to go for them in this situation in the race, because there's so much super risky strats you can go for. Just like thinking Junlin, like your slow force, your BBJ, and like And I don't think we'll see this at this level, but we could see Fryskip causing some problems for some of these runners, potentially, if they go for the Room 1 or the pre-Cantina strat. Just to name a few points where we can see some variance here.
We've all of them are definitely going for Crash and Rip More Skip, so that can definitely also have variance.
Oh, KWAZRR. Will KWAZRR go for Chimkenpox? Because I believe he's been going for it in runs, correct?
I KWAZRR has stated that he doesn't see any negatives on going for it in the latter league, so I think he's 90% sure. I'm
That's
90%
interesting.
sure
That
that
could
he
be a
is going
way.
for it.
Do you know how much Chimkenpox saves?
It could be like, I'm not sure if it's like 10 or 15.
That is not a long time for the incredibly difficult thing. I don't think has any runner ever hit Chimkenpox in a run dragon.
I'm not sure. I think Flaming Laser is the right person to ask for that. Not 100% sure. I believe the CG is... Laser does have the CG, and I believe it is without Chimkin box. It's 338.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. So I suppose no one's hit it in a run because the CG, their best time, would not have it. And
But
that
as for,
could honestly 10 to 15 seconds difference. That could like make the race a lot better for KWAZRR here. So perhaps it is in his best interest to go for it. And you said that all runners are going for try skip in DSE.
yeah, I think
That's
definitely it's skip that players of this level usually go for.
that's interesting. Okay. Because yeah, that's a one try. And how much does try skip save?
I think if you do the swinging room optimally, it is about 20 seconds. And it
That
is because
is
you, the thing you get out of bounds with is you cannot break it after you've built it. So it is a one try, unlike something like Disco Skip where you build something to get out of bounds, but you can just break it and try it again.
yeah. Well, it looks like CHARZIGHT and KWAZRR are going into Jumpland, which, like I said, we're going to see a very important strat deviation. Whether runners go for slow force or not is going to be very interesting. And it looks like, yeah, CHARZIGHT and KWAZRR are both having solid secret plans here. That looks like he's going for it, CHARZIGHT.
Oh
Oh,
no.
that's an immediate fail. I believe that was just to that was just a fail to the position of Luke right at the start. So it looks like he's gonna have to go for the either satellite dish jump or the EJP strat.
Yeah, Charizard just not being close enough to the edge and just being too far, I guess you could say left. If you're kind of like facing left, then it would be compared to Luke's position,
He's going
like
for satellite dish jump.
far enough
Okay.
left.
Now has he practiced this? Okay, he gets on the satellite second try. Let's see how it goes with the out of bounds. Very tricky out of bounds movement here. So much slopes that can just destroy you so easily, but looks like it's going smoothly for Charizard. If he collects the red brick, oh, okay, he struggled a bit there, got a bit scared. Oh, and KWAZRR going into slow force. Let's see if he gets it.
Quasar did lose a bit of time at the beginning. He fell down with Luke, not knowing the backup that you can just actually hit the thing with Obi-Wan instead of Luke, and Luke will most likely go out of bounds, taking the safe strat to wait for the iframes and the respawn with Luke. And quite
Almost, he still gets it
yeah,
in the
very
end.
safe line.
And we see CHARZIGHT going for CHARZIGHT on for BBJ, because it looks like I've seen at least 3 fails
He's
here. 4
yeah,
fails.
I've seen even more.
Oh, that's I would say at least 6th try from what I've seen, but does KWAZRR even go for it? Looks like he's going for BBJ. Looks like he knows he probably needs the time save. That ooh, okay. 2 3. This is interesting, so much variance. That looked faster. Looks like, am I correct in saying that KWAZRR will be closing up the lead a bit in this Jungland?
Definitely, because KWAZRR, even with losing a bit of time, taking a really safe line and not knowing the backup in the beginning, still got slow force, which definitely saved time over CHARZIGHT and definitely the better BBJ. So closing the gap.
How much does slow force save over every other way of getting fast force in this level, Dragon?
Uh, I believe compared to the best satellite times, slow force does save maybe about 12 seconds,
Wow,
I
that
would say.
is that is solid. That could be what it comes down to towards the end of this race between KWAZRR and CHARZIGHT, because unfortunately Zota is just falling quite far behind, I suppose. Ooh, Zota also very interesting, choosing to I don't know whether this was a choice, fall off the edge with Luke there. How did CHARZIGHT go with Junlin One Dragon? As he's doing as he nails Quicksand 2 here.
He did
Oh,
get
KWAZRR
Quicksand 1 the first try.
and KWAZRR didn't, unfortunately. Looks like he's taking an unfortunate death here. Looks like he backs it up well and gets a second try, though. I believe he might still be gaining time here. We'll see what the lead difference is here after Junland. CHARZIGHT getting very, very solid getting very, very solid speeder clip at the end there. Zota's struggling a bit with out of bounds here. Zota's struggling quite a bit here.
We'll see what Charizard's Jellin time is. It is... Ooh, that is definitely not what you like to see. A 5:43 for Charizard, and Quasar can definitely close in the gap with that Judlin time from Charizard.
Okay, looks like Zota got slow force eventually. Interesting strat here, keeping player 2 called in. I didn't even think this... Wait, is he just going for the 1v2? Is he here? He's...
What are we seeing on
What?
Zota's screen?
What is this? Not going for BB... What? I've actually never seen that before. That's so...
This is
That's amazing. I love that.
Gamal,
That
this is exactly why I said in the beginning of the race that Zota will bring the entertainment. He will bring all of the best
he,
strats, even if
that
he's
is
losing time.
phenomenal. That can't even lose that much time, but he goes for it anyway. That's awesome. Looks like CHARZIGHT, am I correct in saying he got player 3 glitch? Very nice, very smooth, very first try. Going for a pretty quick speeder clip there. How much Dragon, have you seen that like Sandcrawler enter strat before? That is sick,
I've
actually.
I've never seen that. No, never. I did not know that exists.
That is crazy. Wait,
Zota just proving his game knowledge.
apparently I'm getting messages from the chat here. Zota didn't get Fast Force. That is incredible. Maybe he
Really?
just didn't know the out of bounds. That's what chat's saying. Oh wow. And I
I
believe
compl I'm we completely missed that. I thought he got the satellite eventually.
He was struggling on the out of bound here. This, oh wow, what is this crazy strat? He just got on like that is. I've never seen that either. This is
Zota
Zota
doing
absolutely putting on a show right now. Oh,
doing the
KWAZRR currently doesn't have
BTT.
P3. KWAZRR, please. Okay, he goes for the pre-cantina backup with player 3 glitch. What is that gonna does that work? That works. Okay. What is Zota doing in this guy's center? What is this? Oh, okay, we see Charzai on the prize skip here. This is an interesting setup. Does hopefully okay, it ends up working for him. Like, well that was good for him, but Jesus Christ, these KWAZRR and Zota being, especially Zota being very entertaining right now, to say the least.
The BTT quicksand one shot. I've never seen anyone do that outside of the
That was
Zax
the
BTT.
BTT. That's the BTT strat. That is very interesting.
I
Yeah,
was just
Charzight's.
I was going off on Zoda's Judland. Did you see if Quasar did get the pre-cantina set up for P3 glitch, right?
I don't. Yeah, he got play. He has player 3 glitch. Yes, but I don't know if he either just didn't go for room one or he failed it. But at least he was able to back it up decently well with the P3 glitch in pre cantina. Hopefully this camera angle works for fry skip. I don't know exactly how lenient it is. Okay, it does work. Amazing.
Was
Looks
actually when
like
Price Skip came out, Charizard was actually one of the first ones to uh try it like for a pretty long time and try to optimize especially the camera angle before the end. So I think Charizard definitely has a lot of knowledge about how the camera angle works for
oh
the
wow, that
first.
is insane. Because it looks like out of Jungland here, we have KWAZRR being behind by only 1 minute 13, but now he's behind by a minute 40. It looks like we must have missed it because of Zoda's legendary strats here, but he must have lost a lot of time in spaceport. Does he get player 3 glitch? I don't think that's player 3 glitch. Only one player 3 glitch success in room 1, and that was from our, I suppose now, favorite to win this race, Charizard. Widening the lead even more, just Spaceport being such a variant level in Ladder League in general. And speaking of variant levels, we have Charzight in the outer bounds for Princess. Gets it just fine, that's what you want. Alright, Alright, Charzight getting Dragon, Tractor Beam quite well. Zota doesn't have player 3 glitch right now. Hopefully he knows how to get it. It looks like he's setting up for it. Charzight doing the backup shot. Looks like it. And then that gets open one there just fine. How is Zota going with this player 3 glitch? Holy. He does not
I'm
have
not
it right
sure.
now.
I'm not sure if he knows how to back this up, and he
Oh,
opts
he
to not go
abandons
for it
it!
all.
He
And
abandons the
we're
trick.
we're gonna see a rare spy fight skip nowadays.
Rare footage of the spy fight skip in this game now in Ladder League Season 2. Charizard's Princess looks to be going smoothly so far, but hopefully we don't see a random aggro in these last few rooms. Oh, struggling a bit on the turnstile here, but looks like we're fine. KWAZRR missing Tractor Beam. That's a very small time loss. If he can get it back, he gets it. Cool.
Or that actually he meleeed with Han Luke, so I believe that made the troopers aggro at the top. It's really there's a lot of different things that can make the troopers aggro there. If you push the red bit of the turnstile, if you push the turnstile twice, if you go too early with Han, all of those things will make the troopers aggro.
Yeah. Okay,
What just happened
and
on Charizard's screen? The elevator opened, there was troopers, and the
he's
elevator
just like,
just
nope,
closed
you're
on their
not.
faces.
Well, the elevator knew what pace Charizard could be on, and that could the elevator knew and chose not to put it on the stormtroopers on Charizard. Maybe that'll screw him over, but yeah, it looks like a very solid princess from Charizard, and this is a rare route to see in an 8% speedrun on Zota's screen. Let's see how he can get this spy fight skip. Rare footage. This is fascinating to see nowadays. Almost that looks quite close to
Really
the
hope to
trigger,
get it.
but come on, come on, Zota, I believe. Oh, it doesn't get the depth there, but looks like he gets it, and that's a very interesting way to end the level nowadays. Oh, immediately taking a death with Quasar immediately taking a death in that princess final room, and Charizard is going into DSE. Two massive one tries, rip more skip. The risk of losing your helmet after one hit, which loses, I believe, about 10 seconds. Very, very difficult level here. We could be seeing a lot of variance here, but Charizard has been going through everything so well, just this race in general. We'll see how he goes with this trash skip. And he gets it. I think that's the fastest way to get it.
Just get the insta clip, does not have to even do the backup shot. That pause buffering looked really sketchy. Honestly did not think that was gonna work.
Well, we don't want to speak too soon. We want to see him hit this out of bounds movement first. I believe it's not the easiest out of bounds movement in the world. And he hits it. He nails that. That is fast, I believe. Now, will he go for Chimkin Box? Will he go for it? Like KWAZRR probably will, but with Charizard, that's the question.
Out of these three runners, Charizard is definitely by far the most unlikely to go for it. I think Zota
Especially in
might
his...
also go for Chimkin Box.
Yeah, KWAZRR said... he did say there were no drawbacks to it. KWAZRR's screen struggling a bit. Okay, it was just an alt tab. I thought his game crashed and I was about to lose it. Unfortunately, it
Wait,
looks like Zota's a full level behind.
I
Wait,
think
what was that, Dragon?
I think Charizard might have done 60 hertz trash skip because he alt tapped there to get to 40 hertz.
Oh, wow.
Oh
What?
no, never
What?
mind. What are we doing?
What? What? That was not what I
Am I
expected. What? He doesn't go for Ripmore skip. This this has
I'm
to be
not sure
just
if
a really safe strat here. I
I'm
haven't
not sure if
seen...
I missed something what happened or why we are doing
He alt
this.
tabbed to 40. Wait, why would he alt tab? Maybe he alt tabbed to 60 because he knew he wasn't going for Ripmore skip. He loses the helmet here, that's fine. He can just grab it in this room, I believe. What?
Oh,
Not going for Ripmore skip.
I'm getting information from the chat that his monitor or his PC can only go down to 46 hertz. Doesn't go
So he
down to
can't do
40.
40 hertz strats. Oh, so he's never been able to do Ripmore skip in the first place. That is fascinating. So that could be a massive drawback, but oh, and it looks like he's not on the panel. He's not on the panel. Oh, he gets saved by the elevator. That was... Oh wait, actually, never mind. The strat's different because he didn't go for Ripmore skip. I'm just so used to it. I've actually never seen a run without Ripmore skip in so long. So that is... Wait, we see KWAZRR going into the Chimkin box area. Will he go for it? Looks like he's going for it. Okay.
Oh, hold, wait.
Okay.
Just has to do the space jump. Oh no.
He
Okay.
just clips over the... That's interesting. Does that loses time, doesn't it? Because of his pause buffers.
I believe so.
Not much time, but it
He
still loses time that he does not want to lose here.
he
Right, going
did
into
get
actually
pretty
Ripmore
far
skip.
though.
He goes too late. That's definitely too late. And he's not doesn't have the helmet right now. Oh, he goes late, but he falls through as well. Oh, that is a rough way to lose it there. That's third cycle. He does not want this time loss. Okay, he gets it. I believe that was fourth or fifth try. Meanwhile, we see THENZOTA a whole level behind, unfortunately, here. Truly unfortunate for him, but he's putting on a show. He's getting us our attention with his amazing Junlin strats.
And Charizard just making the gap even bigger. I don't know if the other two players are gonna be able to catch up by this point. I don't know if we mentioned it, but KWAZRR did miss Trash Skip.
That's true. I wonder if we'll see any interesting strats from THENZOTA in this DSE, because he definitely pulled through with his promise on interesting strats in Junglin, but are there any
Oh
opportunities
no!
to do so in DSE? KWAZRR.
KWAZRR, he
Oh
actually
wow!
falls from that while doing the
I didn't
Falconless
even
setup.
notice he's in that area. You're not supposed to go in that area in the Ritmo Skip DSE route. And he does manages to not lose the helmet there. That is a lot of shots he just dodged. Wait, will he make it? Oh, gets shot by the pilots right at the end of the room. You
Yeah,
see Charzite going into the rebel attack here.
this is pretty much a disaster for KWAZRR.
That
Not
is
what he wants
not what
to
he
see.
wants to see. This is fascinating episode 4. We see Charizard in rebel attack. Oh, is that a double target? That very small time loss. He recovered that very, very nicely. We have to see just how wide Charizard's lead is here. He's like towards the middle of rebel attack, while KWAZRR and Zota are both stuck in different parts of DSE, the previous level here. Oh,
And
looks
Zoda
like
getting
Zota
Trash
hits
Skip.
trash. So far, we don't want to jinx it. We want to see him hit the out of bounds movement here, because will he collect the helmet? Is the question here. He collects the helmet. That's good.
That
You
looked
see,
extremely sketchy. He almost came in bounds.
well, we see he hits the transition. Very nice.
And Charizard does hit the room free out of bounds.
Yep, and Charizard looking at a very solid rebel attack here, even with the lack of a Ritmo skip. Still a very solid. Zota having a bit of a problem on the levers here. That is
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Surely we'll see a Chimkin box attempt.
Come on, Zota. Come on for the fans, Zota. He's going for it. He's going for it. Very safe setup, but he's still going for it nonetheless. Oh, he fails it right away by dive rolling out. Maybe he wanted to
Just
just tease us a little
barely,
bit.
barely jumping um too early and getting the dive roll.
We see a 3-minute lead from Charizard here. 3 minutes here.
Jesus Christ. This is
106.02 here. That is 3 minutes, and we're almost halfway through the run, man.
we were saying how the lead can change in DSC, but Charizard just made the lead that much bigger.
Yeah, it just shows how varied the level is, but it just didn't work out for Quasar here. Or Zerda, I guess.
I think Charizard is really just showing why he has the best sub, and
Yeah, why he's the favorite to win this race. This is just consistent gameplay. Even with his time losses, they're being cancelled out by even further time losses from everyone else. I say that Quasar immediately double targets in this rebel attack. This small time loss, but definitely not what you want to see here.
Zoda not knowing the correct backup, not to go to the other side with Chewy here.
Everyone is doing a weird DSC here in all different ways. That just shows how brutal this level can be. Especially if you don't know exactly what you're doing. Did he
Wait, why did
activate that Stormtrooper panel before doing Falconless?
Did Zota almost forget to do Falconless?
That's what
Is
it
this
looks like it
like...
could happen.
And Charizard sitting at 110.39 episode 4
That is so
exit.
strong. Compared to what everyone else might be pulling here, that is just so strong for Charizard here.
I'm not sure if Charizard is ahead of PB, but this looks like a pace that definitely could be.
Zoda hit. Wait,
Zota,
Zoda, please. Okay, he hit the Falconless trigger. He hits the end of the level. Doesn't have to play this room. Or maybe he would. I feel like he would, given his position in the race, just not go for Falconless at all, and then just decide to show us the Falconless room without Falconless.
I wouldn't be surprised if Zota knows two different out of bounds skips for the
Getting
last room without
messages,
Falconless.
getting messages on the chat here. Um, Flaming Laser is saying that CHARZIGHT is -4 to PB, so very tight here. He has a PB of 229.33.
Yeah, and if we look at the BPTs, I mean, they all have almost a 5-minute variance, almost a 5-minute gap from Charizard to Quasar, and
That's
5-minute gap
crazy.
from Quasar to Zota.
And so CHARZIGHT,
So
not only having the best sob out of all these three runners by 3 minutes, he's also sticking to that sob as close as possible, especially compared to everyone else. KWAZRR barely on 2x BPT. Zoda is on 234 BPT, while CHARZIGHT with an incredibly strong 225 BPT here. However, we don't want to call the race just yet. We're only halfway through. There's so much more levels which everyone can have meltdowns on. Just
going to the back half of this run, definitely the first, second, and third place are like very much set so far.
so far we say that, but and yes, a 3 minute, 3.5 minute lead is very, very, very safe here. But we've seen what the ladder league can do to runs. We've seen the comebacks, we've seen the time losses, we've seen the meltdowns, and so that's why I don't want to call anything about this race until first place enters the Falcon in the Betrayal over Best Spin level. I don't want to call anything until then because there's just so much variance. And speaking of variance, we're into Jabas where we have so much tricks, so much opportunities for time loss in this level, especially I find personally. Droid Avoid and especially Spiderless, one of the most precise out of bounds tricks in the game.
But it definitely goes up there with Pixel Disco.
For Pixel Disco, you have a really solid lineup. We have some very solid documentation on exactly what the visual cue is. But Spiderless, we have so many runners using so many different visual cues. So we'll see how people go being consistent with that. CHARZIGHT taking an interesting strat there in that room too. Yeah,
Yeah,
Zoda
so
is
how usually P will do it is either setting up Chewy, lining up usually is where something with Chewie's body compared to the wall, either with the gun out or the gun in, making the setup different.
yeah, it's different for everyone else. It's very interesting what people can do and how consistent that ends up being because yeah, and even then after you get the precise trick itself, the out of bounds movement is not easy. You can so easily miss the great right at the end and just miss that trigger and lose so much time having to do the backup. Interesting character management from CHARZIGHT into the Spiderless room.
I will be doing this on a keyboard for easier time setting this up.
Interesting. He nails it, nice. I don't want to say that into the out of bounds movement actually.
Keyboard strats might have paid him off there.
Keyboard strats just easier to normalize and just easier to make more precise. He misses the great.
Oh no.
I shouldn't have said anything. Oh, that's rough for him.
We really
He knows.
hope he
Does he knows the
gets
backup?
this
Does he
back
know the
up.
backup? I don't think he can get to the torch from there. I don't think he knows that. He can't do it from that torch. I don't know if he knows the
Oh,
backup.
he was going from the wrong side. If you jump from the right side of the
Yeah,
torch, you can't get on it. You need to jump from the left side. And he
I
does
don't know
not
if
know
he's.
what torch
He doesn't.
needs to go to.
Oh my
This is
god.
the this is
Oh
really
no.
bad for
As
Charizard.
soon as I say Chavez is an incredibly variant level, what could Charles say? He's going back to the regular spiderless. Oh god. That is just unfortunate. Unfortunate start for episode 6 there.
What
Jabba's
to say
is
is what
wow.
I would say is Charizard tried to go for it more safe, but that because that's what not what he usually does, making him miss it. And that is really unfortunate for Charizard because he was -4 to PV with losing a lot of time to Bespin and CCT, so
Okay,
he was very much on pace to get a massive PB here.
I believe he was -4 out of episode 4. I don't know what that means for his PB now. And
Also
it
not
looks
getting
like,
the fast rank or manipulation.
as I said, episode
Yeah,
6, relentless, losing such a large chunk of time to one input. That's getting into the great there. Even then, though, the gap is still huge. We just saw KWAZRR hit Joy Avoid, and Charizard's almost finished up on the level here. And we see Zoda having exiting episode 4 just then, 6 minutes behind Charizard here. Insane amount of variance.
and we will see how Zoda is gonna deal with not having the fast force red brick.
Yeah, that's true as well. That is even further time loss. I believe just straight up, verbatim, it loses 20 seconds or so.
Charizard is saying that his PB is still on. I guess that's how much he loses in
That barely hit,
the.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was very sketchy, but Charizard uh, apparently does not have the best back half of the run, especially the last 2 levels.
CCG investment, yeah, they're variant levels. So he's still on PB watch here, which would be very nice to see. Rung 6, a 2-2x, a PB, that would be very fun to watch. We see that Quaz is having a bit more of a solid jobbers here. Interesting Gamorrean movement there. We see Zoda just entering jobbers here. Interesting strat, interesting 1P2C. I believe it's just the standard 1P2C but mirrored. So I guess it wouldn't lose much time if at any.
And we will see like different things how not having fast forward will affect the run that usually when we're doing runs we're not thinking about at all.
Yeah, especially it's not just a base 20 seconds. It makes a lot of things harder as people are shooting you as you're just trying to force something. And it's just so much slower than you used to, so you just can't plan around that. And I don't know if Zoda can't have prepared for something like this happening. I don't know if he knows. I suppose he does have very light super story experience, but that's blindfolded, so I don't know if that would have an effect on anything.
I'm not sure either.
And see CHARZIGHT going into this Carcoon. Interesting character management into this. That is it normal for Boba to spawn that late? Oh wow. I don't know if that's a normal strat for the Boba fight, but I've never seen that.
Ever seen that? That's a pretty normal way to skip the Boba fight. I also do that strat. It's a very consistent way
Oh
to
wow. The more
skip
you know.
the Boba fight. And there's two different strats. There's the camera pan skip where you just skip the Boba camera pan and shoot him with Han, or the Huey punch strat we saw from Charizard.
Will CHARZIGHT go for topless? I'm guessing so, considering the amount of risk he's gone for here.
And CHARZIGHT does not pull both of the levers.
He
He
didn't.
did not realize
Wait, what
that.
is
He
he
did not
doing?
also realize that. He did not pull
Wow.
both of the levers, and he does not realize it himself. I'm shocked that he didn't realize, because he would see it in the camera pan. Also, he was just not at that, like, even close to the right spot with P2.
Let's see what KWAZRR can pull in this Cocoon. Maybe he can close up the lead. In fact, let's see. KWAZRR pulling a 618 jobbers while CHARZIGHT pulling a I believe a 634 or no 734. I don't know if I'm doing the maths there right, but I think that was a 734 jobbers. MC Zota,
For
will he?
Charizard, yes.
That is crazy. That brought the lead. It's down to 2 minutes again. It's down to 2 minutes into this Cocoon.
And Charizard
Alright,
so far definitely not having the best Cocoon, missing topless and also just missing the setup for topless with the lever pulls.
alright, going into Pixel Disco. Will we see a meltdown? Does he go for Pixel Disco? Surely, right? Looks like he's lining up. Okay.
And also Droid Avoid without Fast Force.
From
You don't
Zota.
usually think about it, but
It's
Fast
so much
Force
worse without
affected.
Fast Force, yeah.
Yeah, and I believe he was struggling with Droid Avoid. I wasn't paying that much attention, but I believe he was.
Charizard missing Pixel Disco. The pressure might be getting to him. Okay, he gets it, I believe, at least second try, but that's not ideal, unfortunately.
I believe that was even third try.
Quasar's having a
If
bit of a
I'm
problem in this room here. Okay, he gets it eventually. We'll see how he goes in Pixel Disco. He might need the time save. Lining it up, lining it up. He gets it first try. Okay, that's solid. He definitely would not want to see a
last,
Pixel Disco.
yeah, that was a very nice last second adjustment from KWAZRR.
Second adjustment to get it, to get Pixel Disco. Wow. Interesting, dropping out during Cocoon end platform, but overall that end platform looked not the worst in the world. KWAZRR not trying for the power up here.
That is, if you're doing Pixel Disco, the correct thing to do is definitely not to go for the power up at all.
Let's see what KWAZRR's KWAZRR hits a 553. Yeah, 553 Cocoon here. Again, the Pixel
Do you
Disco,
mean
yeah.
Charizard?
Charizard, yeah, Charizard. So we'll see what the lead has come to if KWAZRR gained any time in this Cocoon here.
I mean, Charizard was failing topless, but
Charizard, yeah, failed topless.
I did not think it was actually that bad to get a
Oh,
553.
this is a minute 30 seconds now. This deviation is a minute 30 seconds. I think it's halved in the past two levels from 3 minutes to a minute 30. Wow. Just yeah, Charizard just the nerves might be getting to him in this episode 6.
And looks like Charizard has let the missing the gradient jobbers affect him so far.
Yeah, he just has to keep his mental together here. Luckily, I like to think Speeder's Showdown is one of the more tame levels of episode, probably the most tame level I'd say in episode 6, because only concerning thing is, I'd say, this speeder skip here, which we'll see how it goes with that. And he gets it, okay. Am I correct in saying speeder skip is the biggest skip in this game, skipping about 4 minutes of gameplay, Dragon?
I believe you would be correct. I think um, anything that could be even close is maybe pod prod, but I don't think pretty much any skip is even close to the amount of time saved.
Is KWAZRR losing time on this? Oh, was that a first try speeder skip, or did KWAZRR lose time here? Guess we'll see when the split gets done.
Zota having an interesting Carcoon with no fast force, kind of
Yeah,
struggling with
this is
stuff that you
probably one of
don't
the
usually
worst
think
levels.
about.
Without fast force, you just have to force so much things, and there is so much enemies on the screen in this level.
And no pixel disco from Zota, so we will see what attempt disco
Oh,
he's
hell
gonna
yeah.
get.
Of course he's going for RNG disco. I wouldn't expect anything else from whatever he did in that Sandcrawler enter. Gets it second try. Oh wow, CHARZIGHT pulling a 3 flat speeder showdown here. We will see. Maybe the lead is wider. I don't know what KWAZRR was doing in that speeder. Maybe he lost time, maybe he didn't. I wasn't paying attention.
I'm not sure either.
Okay, that's interesting
So
from Zoro. He lost. Okay, looks like KWAZRR lost 7 seconds, but it's still a solid minute and a half, which is, in my opinion, so much better than the 3-minute lead that CHARZIGHT had into Rebel Attack.
And I know Charizard has been doing 12 button skip and runs, and I would assume
CHARZIGHT,
he is it.
he is going for 12 button skip, yeah, given his like very risky playstyle.
Is Charizard's stream okay again?
Ooh, oh, he's getting lag frames in the cutscene, I'm pretty sure. I don't think this loses time, but if it does, that is unfortunate.
Okay, we're back now. We're back now.
Yeah, we're back. Right at the end of the cutscene as he goes into Battle of Endor. He's going for the 2-player strats here, that's pretty cool. Meanwhile, Zota, a whole level behind, just exiting Carcoon. That is interesting. It really just shows like how far like KWAZRR and CHARZIGHT are like the favorites of this race.
Yeah, but Zoda's still having a better Carcoon than what Charizard had,
That is fascinating. Wow.
even with no fast force, and Charizard doing pixel disco and Zoda not doing it.
That's interesting. KWAZRR's not going for the 2-player strats in this first room of Endor. I believe all it saves is a dropout.
Yes, that is correct.
And I don't think KWAZRR will be going for 12 button skip. I don't know if that's a risk he's gonna take.
I believe he has not learned 12 button skip. No.
Oh wow, so what? And I believe CHARZIGHT, again, given his risky playstyle, he will be going for it. He will be going for 12 button skip, while KWAZRR will just be doing the 1P2C. How much does 12 button skip save? Because that statistic could be very relevant here.
I may have said to you that it could save like 30 seconds, but I believe it's about 20 seconds with
He's
optimal
struggling
play
just on the
styles
first
from.
jump here. So 20 seconds and... Okay, he gets that eventually. How does he go with Leia? Okay. And then this is the second part.
Charizard is really struggling so far.
Oh, really struggling. I don't know if this is saving time of the 1P2C. I don't know. He gets it eventually, though.
And even that last one, that barely worked. He started rolling to the right and then got the
He stood
version
up
where
for a
he's
second. I
still
don't know if that's
manages.
normal.
Is what normal?
Whether he, like, stood up there for a second before rolling forward to finish the skip off. Meanwhile, we see KWAZRR here going for the 1P2C. That's interesting. Wicket falling off the button there. That is an unfortunate little mini time loss there. Yep, Leia choosing to take another ride with the grapple here. Oh, they're falling off the buttons, but okay. No meltdowns here. Just had to change the character management there a bit. Meanwhile, we have CHARZIGHT into the bunker super jump.
He set this respawn in the correct place, and I believe he may have set the respawn in the wrong spot. Never mind.
Okay, we're good. We see Zoda just entering Battle of Endor here, and KWAZRR going for bunker super jump. Do we know how much that 12 button skip lost for CHARZIGHT over getting 12 button skip first try? How much did he spend just missing the trick?
We'll see after this Endor what his Endor. If he gets like a decent bunker, we can with the Endor time only like see pretty much how much he lost from that 12 button skip.
And that's assuming he gets a good bunker as well. This level just has... It's a very long level and it's a lot of stuff to it.
It is looking clean so far, but now coming
Oh,
up.
he
Oh
can't get...
no!
That's annoying for him. He's going to have to switch to Wicket here, I'm pretty sure. Just barely shooting that Stormtrooper, which he needed to pull the lever efficiently. Does he get the camera pan skip is the question. He doesn't! Oh, that is interesting. That is very interesting. Looking like a solid bunk of KWAZRR so far, but we gotta get into the second half and see if he hits this. He might need the time save from this camera pan skip. And he gets it. He nails it.
And Charizard getting really unlucky on the last camera pan skip. He definitely went fast enough, but he actually just got screwed over by the camera there. That
That is just such an
he did nothing
unfortunate
wrong. That
angle.
should have worked.
Let's see. That is 654. 134 flat exit from CHARZIGHT here. And we'll see
Information
what
from the
KWAZRR can
chat.
pull.
I'm getting information from the chat that Charizard got the AI bird button. I don't know if you've seen the Captain Paxo clip where the
I have
AI
not
hits
seen
the
this
bird
Captain
button.
Paxo clip.
That's in the first part of the bunker, like the AI hit the bird button that you need to hit.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, I think I've seen that actually.
And actually, KWAZRR also going really fast on the last CPS, but he also gets the bad camera and
Oh,
gets screwed
that's...
over.
Meanwhile... Oh. Wait. No, never. Did KWAZRR have a worse Battle of Endor here? Just barely. Losing a bit of time there.
Yeah, getting a 658.
That is... I guess not what you want to see, but it's what you get for doing a safe strat when you're in this position in the race. Oh, Zoda not going for 12 buttons skip, unfortunately. Oh, he goes for this... Never mind! It looks like he's going for the second half. Just the second half.
Something you would only see from THENZOTA.
From THENZOTA, yeah.
The THENGOTA.
Zoda the Goda, as his alt Twitch name is called. Meanwhile, we should pay more
Yes.
attention to CHARZIGHT here as he goes for Emperor Ultra Kill here. Does he get it? He goes backwards?
Yeah, Charizard
He should...
noticing that he's not pushing Emperor the right way and taking it safe by
Okay, he
going
gets it first
backwards a
try.
little
We
bit.
did not see a Destiny meltdown tonight here at Jedi Destiny.
And we will see a
Um,
PGA attempt from Zoda. Let's see if he gets this.
hell yeah, Zoda.
Looks good. And he is out of bounds. We're really hoping that he gets this.
That would be awesome. Still out of bounds.
Just don't go too high. KWAZRR also. KWAZRR missing Ultra Kill.
No, KWAZRR! Desperately trying to back it up. Is he going for left side now?
KWAZRR is going back to the
Where
right.
is he going? He's going towards the middle!
Zoda is taking a very long time, and he does get PGA after taking the
Oh
setup
man,
extremely safe.
KWAZRR clearly showing his nerves here. He needs this to hit with how much he's committed to this one attempt of Ultra Kill. And it looks like he's going to get it. He got it. Somehow technically first try, but that is not what you want to see. I think he would have saved time if he just gave up on that attempt. Not what you want to see.
Yeah, he was really taking Emperor on a very big trip.
And again, we have the three runners in three different levels here. Just how much variance there is here. We have Zoda in Battle of Endor, KWAZRR in Jedi Destiny, and CHARZIGHT in Into the Death Star here. And we're going to be seeing some very solid RNG. It looks like he's getting a lot of torpedoes so far, but that's only about the first half. This is only about half of the torpedoes he needs, but he gets another one here.
Charizard is just
That's
torpedo
all.
paradise
No, never
over
mind.
here.
Just pulling his dominating lead even further forward here. I believe this is the last torpedo he needs.
And that is what Charizard likes to see. That was a very
Oh,
lucky room one.
KWAZRR is over 2 minutes behind here just because of that Ultra Kill. That cost him so much. Oh, sort of falling off in that Battle of Endor. That is unfortunate.
Trying to high roll it a bit too much.
He needs those like 2 frame time saves. They'll add up.
Charizard is actually in the chat, so we definitely I also seen KWAZRR in the chat. So we definitely know that they are checking how much time they are ahead and losing.
Yep, and I don't actually know whether Zoda and KWAZRR are checking on the race. I don't know if they know how far behind or ahead they could be.
I was just saying that I did see KWAZRR in the chat.
KWAZRR, oh. And
And
yet
looking
KWAZRR,
like
I don't
KWAZRR,
think he's getting so lucky in this starting room here. Not what you want to see. Meanwhile, CHARZIGHT looking like he's putting up a very solid Into the Death Star so far, but we'll have to see what happens in this core.
and the only thing you would really be hoping for is no blanks on the IT.
And he gets IT. Okay, that would have been a very, very interesting race if he didn't get IT there. I don't even know like how much time that loses. I just know it's a lot.
I believe Quasar did get a PB with missing IT. I believe the PB, I don't know if it was before this one or like the next one over, but he did have one without IT.
What
And
was the
he
time?
only lost like a minute to it. I'm not
That's
sure what the
crazy.
time was.
Wow. Meanwhile, we see Zota going for right side ultra kill here. Looks like that was pretty solid attempt.
And Quasar having a meltdown on the targets. I'm not sure
No,
if that
KWAZRR, no,
if
you don't.
he
Oh, he can't be having these time losses at this
yeah, I'm not
point in the
sure if
run.
I'm not sure if he like just blanked that many times or what even happened. But if he had 6 torpedoes, he would have had to blank 3 times. That is insane. And I'm not sure what Charizard is doing in the chat.
What?
I think I would. I don't know if
What
Guillermo
is?
you've been checking. They're taking the Lego speedruns chat, but I'm not sure if this is a classic Charizard chatting or if Charizard is really tired again or what is going on. And Quasar's still having trouble with the interior with torpedoes.
This is not the ITDS you want if you're in KWAZRR's position here.
This is a very entertaining chat we're having right now. And Charizard finishing episode 6 with a 141.45.
140, 145.
I believe with still a very big gap on Quasar and still having about a minute left to lose to Saab to get a PB. But I believe that is like so much more unlikely now.
Keep in mind, um, another important statistic here is we want second place to be pulling better than a 235 if second place does not want to be leapfrogged and sent into the deadly rung 6. 230, anything slower than a 235.09, Anonymous will be taking second place's spot in rung 5, while second place will be stuck in rung 6, where in the double elim match just next week.
Yeah, Quasar will be definitely hoping to get a better time than that. So far, Quasar's Saab looks like that definitely can happen. But in a race situation, in the last 2 episodes, especially episode 5, you can definitely start losing a lot of time to Saab.
Yeah, we don't want to call anything at this point in the race yet, but looks like it looks like the lead has been widened yet again. CHARZIGHT just KWAZRR just choking in the last few levels of episode 6, and the lead's 3 minutes again. And this time into episode 3, there's only 12 levels left for KWAZRR to claw this back.
Even from Quasar in the chat that he, in fact, did blank 4 times in the interior.
That's unfortunate, KWAZRR. Wow. And
That
CHARZIGHT
is
is very happy in chat. Uh,
Charizard is, I don't know if on purpose, taking the piss in the chat over here.
Chester Mouse, you make a very good point here. Nolan in Planes 2 was active in the chat, and he was the one that ended up losing. Perhaps just talking in chat actively during a run is some kind of curse, and maybe Charzight will end up losing this just because he chatted. Who knows?
I almost agree. I myself chatted in episode 1 in my match. Episode 1 went terrible. Then I stopped chatting and I did very well.
What a correlation, wow.
And Zota camera pan skip core variant, but just not getting the camera pan skip. Or I believe he not get the camera pan skip.
Oh, that torpedo. Oh! Did he hit the core? I don't know if he hit the
Not
core.
yet,
The
no.
core hasn't been hit. Is he gonna farm to? Are we gonna see torpedo farming strats? Are we gonna see? Oh, he gets one. Oh, he gets one straight away. Oh, he's lucky.
Yeah, Zota did blank on the IT. I believe it was a blank and not a double target. And we did see that CHARZIGHT, I believe he got the red brick.
Let's hope he did. Did he go for? It looks like he's not even going for death strats. This is interesting. Meanwhile, KWAZRR, complete opposite. He's going for two-player strats. Even I think this can save up to 2 seconds throughout the whole level.
I think it could even save a little bit more, but yeah, I think CHARZIGHT being a sub 230 runner and still not doing 1v2c Coruscant is like kind of surprising, I would say.
Well, to be fair, I mean it's only about like it's not too much time compared to the other times, but yeah, it's still very interesting. Or this could just be a safety strat. Could just be a
It
safety
is
strat
not.
because who knows?
It is not too much time, but it is really pretty almost free time save. Really easy to perform.
Yeah. And we see going into Chancellor, probably the one of the most variant levels in episode 3, I'd like to say. Very, very technical level, very technical.
For sure, and I don't think, at least from KWAZRR or CHARZIGHT, we're gonna be seeing MV or GDS, the two kind of optional skips of this level.
Yeah. And I think briefly we had again, yet again, all three runners in different levels. Because we just have Zota loading into episode 3 here.
And
But yeah,
pretty much thank you for the raid, Frostbite, and everyone who came from the raid. Welcome.
hello Raiders. So this level is incredibly technical. There are a good amount of skips that I definitely don't know how to do here. And it'll be interesting to see what everyone goes for. I don't think we're seeing any MVE action from CHARZIGHT here.
Get it? Oh
Robson
wow,
as
that is a
Anakin.
really unlucky AI that he's getting. Getting that Anakin is coming first is kind of rare and unavoidable time loss.
Right, and we're going into CSJ, a very, probably the most variant trick in this level. So we'll see how he goes with this trick. Deactivates R2,
CHARZIGHT,
that's interesting, to say the least. I don't know if this will still work. Pause buffering and still failing, okay. Choosing to kill R2.
this is really
That's...
unfortunate for CHARZIGHT. CHARZIGHT has had the worst history with this trick. I believe he has lost 4 or 5 sub 230 paces to this trick exactly.
5 paces to this, that is crazy, because if you melt down on this trick, you just get so messed up, it's so easy to just melt down here. He
And CHARZIGHT
deactivates
does
R2
miss
again.
it again.
I don't know if it still works with the deactivate. Okay, he gets out of bounds. He just needs to do the movement. He's does he? Is he getting the movement? Come on, he's close. He's falling down. Oh my
Oh
god, he
no,
fell
this
down.
is a
That's
meltdown for CHARZIGHT.
this is oh my god. He can't be feeling good after this throwing this hard to one trick, and one trick that he has a very rough history with. Pause buffering it, hits it again. Can he hit the out of bounds movement this time? Okay, he got it eventually, but he's definitely losing time if he if he did cycle skips, and that could make a difference.
I believe if KWAZRR has a much like smoother CSJ, the gap is gonna be close enough for episode 5 shenanigans to close the gap between CHARZIGHT and KWAZRR.
That's true. It just depends on how well he does here. Interesting setting up early after before even killing the droids. I don't know if that droid's dead. That might affect something. That droid's not dead. I don't think it'll affect anything. Oh no, he just barely doesn't get it. Just barely. I think that was just slightly late force.
Yeah, I believe that's is what happened.
And he gets a second try. Can he do the out of bounds movement?
CHARZIGHT
Oh, he does it
almost
fast as well.
CHARZIGHT almost even KWAZRR almost missed it because he stopped doing the slow walk. He did the faster walk with Obi-Wan right at the end, but still making it.
Alright, he's going for the drop and warp. He's going for the death for safety. Hopefully he gets this. Very, very late dropout, I will say, but okay, it barely works. I thought that was the transition to spawn him back at the same room, but we're good.
The fact that he hit it while almost being staying still was kind of a heart attack.
521. 521 Chancellor for CHARZIGHT here.
I'm not sure how, I think KWAZRR might be saving a little bit time to that, but not as much as he probably would have hoped for.
This is true. He got it. He didn't get it first try, but he certainly got it second try there, which could make a difference because CHARZIGHT, I'd say, got it about fifth try.
And CHARZIGHT not actually doing resolution grief cheese, he's doing a 46 hertz grief cheese, so we'll see how that works out for him.
Has KWAZRR set up resolution grief cheese here? That's the question.
But a KWAZRR is... CHARZIGHT did set up 46 hertz.
Looks like 2 or 3 cycles here, I believe. Yeah, KWAZRR getting a much faster Chancellor here. He has that is 4x. It's a 440 something compared to CHARZIGHT's 521. So that is a solid 40 seconds in Chancellor, even with the CSJ fail.
Also, KWAZRR had a kind of a
What?
meltdown last room. He was messing up the last room really hard, not switching to the right character.
That is unfortunate. But CHARZIGHT pulling a 116 Grievous? That is speedy. That is a speedy Grievous. Once
Yeah,
again, we have
proving that
three runners in different levels here. That is just crazy how variant this has been.
yeah, CHARZIGHT showing that the 46 hertz strat definitely works for him, not needing to do the resolution.
Not going so well for KWAZRR. That could have had a phase advance there. Not going so well for KWAZRR. Just the shots are just not hitting.
KWAZRR is kind of playing this riskier than I like.
He knows he has to play this well, but that's not working out for him. He's just not doing the damage. He's changing settings! Or he clutches up on the last cycle, getting like, I think that's a 4 cycle to finish off the fight, but... The lead is a little under 3 minutes into Kashyyyk here.
And Zoda not doing CSJ. Keeping P2 in while doing cycle skips, interesting.
That is a very interesting strategy, choosing not to do CSJ and having that interesting. I don't know what's going on with layer 2 here, but
He did the auto dropout. I guess that's for just a little bit more optimization.
Archer's still on screen. I don't know if this messes up the drop and warp. I don't know if this still messes up the drop and warp. What? That was
He
interesting. That was
he
interesting from
tried to
Zota.
he tried to go faster by force pushing R2, but he deactivated R2, making R2 die and having to restart the room.
Oh no, he gets the respawn.
And I believe a very clean Kashyyyk so far for CHARZIGHT. A little bit of trouble in the targets, but
Zota's still on that room. Wow. Is he just swallowing his pride? He's just doing the casual strat? Or KWAZRR, some small time losses from KWAZRR on this Kashyyyk room 1 here.
yeah, Kashyyyk is one of those levels that I think, despite not having pretty much any tricks, if you don't
Oh,
consider beach shots or pixel jumps tricks, just still a really hard level.
it's just gameplay, it's just execution, yeah. Also, I love Zota's resolution here. Everyone's just wide. Love that.
Yeah, I'm
Very
not
clean
sure
last room from
why
KWAZRR.
he's the only one that's actually this wide. This is some insane FOV we're seeing from Zota.
150. This is the 413 from CHARZIGHT here. 413 Kashyyyk.
And Zota
Zota having a bit
is
of a
getting
problem on the last room
harassed.
again.
Harassed by the Grievous bodyguards, and Zota does not have fast force, which is okay,
That
he
would make the
gets it.
room harder, yes.
That could have been much worse. He somehow gets it with no fast force, and the Grievous bodyguards just being right on him.
Going into Ruin here with CHARZIGHT. Short level, but it's relatively technical. Oh, I've never seen that setup before. Just spamming attack with Yoda.
And also, I'm not sure if Quasar's let it affect him, but he has. It's now 5 a.m. for Quasar, and he has not slept tonight at all yet.
Wow, that could be affecting his gameplay.
Charizard missing red staircase jump, opting to just force the staircase.
Whoa. I think KWAZRR may have just had a significantly faster. Or it was a similar Kashyyyk actually. There's still about a little over 2.5 minutes ahead. CHARZIGHT is. We got the widescreen action going on from Zota. I don't know exactly what the resolution is right now, but it's definitely something.
He's not having the best Grievous for sure.
That's not what you want. Alright, CHARZIGHT on library skip right now. That was so low, he just failed that library skip. That. Okay, attempt 2. He fails it again!
Charizard is
No!
going very risky in
He
this.
fails it
I feel like
again!
he's
He's
playing
going.
really fast.
He's playing. Fourth time! Fourth fail. This could end up mattering. That's so low. That's not gonna work. It didn't work. Oh my
And
god.
Charizard is doing.
That's
There's two different things that you look for in library skip when you set it up, and he's doing all of it wrong. He's doing
oh
library skip
no.
completely wrong.
Oh god. No. No. He's going. I think he's going too
Charizard,
fast.
stop. No.
He gets it eventually, but that's significant. That is significant because KWAZRR is going for library skip himself now. That is significant.
I believe that was
Come on,
just
KWAZRR.
completely Charizard's fault. He dropped out P2 before he stopped moving, and he did not have the camera
Come on,
panned in the correct spot in any of those attempts.
KWAZRR. KWAZRR, you need this. Come on. Oh, he knows he needs it. No, 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 KWAZRR, come
And
on.
Quasar also doing it wrong. He
Please.
panned the camera left.
Oh, he's not panning the. He gets a second try. Okay, that's still so much time. That still has to be so much time. And he barely gets the force finish there. 2 flat 31 exit from CHARZIGHT. What is the lead's less than 2 minutes? The lead's less than 2 minutes into Vader.
Or and the library skip making Charizard go insane, sending Italian brain rot in the chat.
I. He gets the drop and warp. He gets the drop and warp. Struggling a bit to get the force thing there, but that's fine. Yeah, it looks like CHARZIGHT lost about a minute to that library skip. And even with KWAZRR failing at once, KWAZRR is now less than 2 minutes behind. Looks like KWAZRR, I think KWAZRR got the drop and warp there as well. Meanwhile, we see Zota, unfortunately, still in the middle of Kashyyyk, a whole 2 levels behind. What is he doing in this room? He's dropping in player 2 a bit late there, but I think he's still doing the same strat. So they're taking some
Has
interesting
recently,
lines.
yeah, he has. I was just about to say he has missed this part recently, so that's why he's doing it very safe to make sure of no disasters like Harass Me had, like we saw from Harass Me yesterday.
Is he gonna make it? Is that gonna make it? That makes it by a mile. Oh, he gets the slow
Charizard,
cutscene on Vader. He, ooh, that's only a few seconds, but that could make a difference. That's not a fast Vader, even if he got all the tech. That was not the best executed. So KWAZRR might be gaining even more time here. 20302, episode 3 exit from CHARZIGHT here.
I
KWAZRR
mean,
getting the win 3.
that is still at least 1 minute 40 ahead. So it's
That
1
is
minute.
140 into episode 5.
Not sure how much lead changes we are gonna see.
If any at all. But 1 minute 40 into episode 5, like, that's incredibly solid, but it's so much narrower now than when it was out of episode 6. That library skip just changed so much, that CSJ just changed so much.
God is painfully trying to force the capsule here.
Now, into episode 5, just a reminder, second place needs to get a 2:35:09 or better to stay in Rung 5, or to be in Rung 5 next week. And it looks like second place, currently KWAZRR, has a 2:32:56 BPT with only 6 splits left to lose time to that. So I think he's going to be saving time to the 2:35:09, but it's no guarantee. and he definitely wants to get that type of time if he wants to stay in Rung 5, or he's going to be in a double elim match next week.
KWAZRR is definitely hoping to do that, and so far, this is like 2.5 minutes to sub, while CHARZIGHT has lost, I believe, 6 minutes to sub. So definitely having that.
6 minutes to sob, that is wild.
I believe he had a 225 BPT into episode 6, if I'm not completely incorrect. And now
And
Zoda
yeah,
being full almost like 2 levels behind. Fast Force really affects episode 3 so much.
yeah, with the amount of things that just keep getting interrupted, I suppose.
Yeah, out of Kashyyyk, Zoda being 4.5 minutes, almost 5 minutes behind KWAZRR.
All right, we're getting Zoda into this library skip. Will we see the first try library skip of this race? The first and only first try library skip. Looks like he's going for it. Meanwhile, we see CHARZIGHT getting started in Hoth Battle. Yay, he gets it. Zoda gets it first try. I'm very happy with that. Very happy for him. Zoda is lined up to get the best ruin, I believe. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
CHARZIGHT getting first try.
Zoda definitely the only one to actually do the setup correctly.
For sure, for sure.
And CHARZIGHT is setting up for GTF. He is gonna go for GTF, I believe, even though he is
CHARZIGHT
gonna
will be
be...
going for GTF this race.
Yeah, even though he's ahead, I believe now he's still going for GTF.
That was a very, very quick setup for first barrier skip by KWAZRR, but still getting it.
It's very interesting what's
Interesting,
going on the
interesting strat
left.
from CHARZIGHT here. Yeah, going to the left here. He's going opposite direction sometimes of player one. This is not a fast wave one. Struggling with that last probe droid. Meanwhile,
There might be
KWAZRR
a
on his wave one right
reason
now.
why. Yeah, I believe there might be a reason why we don't go left, and maybe CHARZIGHT is proving it right here.
And that looked like a much faster wave one from KWAZRR there.
Zoda is just painfully trying to force those pillars.
Not looking like a fast wave 2 from CHARZIGHT either, while KWAZRR looked pretty solid.
Yeah, we are almost
Keeping
tied RTA now.
almost high RTA. Meanwhile, KWAZRR is keeping player 2 called in here. What is he pulling? What is he gonna do?
What do you...
Okay. Oh, he's getting the bomb with player 2. This is... Okay, that was
Yeah,
good.
very standard strategies for both players.
Dying there, but I think that's fine. You just have to redirect a bomb a little bit. You just have to... Oh, that small time loss, but I think it's fine if you hit... He hit the AT-AT. That's good.
And the gap staying RTA the exact same in this further wave.
And yeah, this is interesting. We have no idea what the gap is now, because I suppose Hoth Battle is just such a variant level with Hoth Arena just being so dependent on RNG, just general gameplay. It's so inconsistent. So I could not tell you what the deviation is going to be out of this Hoth Battle. Because yeah,
CHARZIGHT
CHARZIGHT just
definitely have
entering the
the better.
cutscene.
CHARZIGHT definitely have the better fourth wave here.
Yeah, better fourth wave, but I don't know if that would cancel out with the wave 1 and 2 here. I just have to
Still
wait for the splits to come
going
in.
wild. Still going wild in the chat.
209.41. That is a 6:39, I believe, or a 5:39. The gap is about still. It's only a minute and a half. It's a minute 29 into the last 5 levels.
I'm not. Do you have any knowledge of Charizard is doing boom skip? I believe he would.
That would make sense. Charizard's a very risky player. That would make sense for him to go for boom skip, but
I think
and
not really hate towards Charizard. I think still Zach is making a very good point.
Zach in the chat.
Yeah. I don't
Zach does
believe
make a good
KWAZRR.
point.
I don't believe KWAZRR is gonna be going for boom skip.
Quasar's not going for boom skip. Oh, that could make a difference.
I think he's not doing it.
They're both in the same room. They're both in the same room, RTA.
Yeah, and I believe Charizard having the worst loads here.
Charizard definitely having the worst loads considering the closeness of the RTA given the 90-minute gap here.
Let's see this
90
boom
minutes,
skip.
90 seconds. He's going for boom skip. Charizard failing it at least once.
And
KWAZRR
KWAZRR is
also
also.
failing it at least once. Okay.
I was wrong by him not going for it. That's my bad.
No, KWAZRR not getting it second try, but Charizard is now pulling ahead RTA.
Yeah, getting it second try is really unfortunate. That should pretty much never happen.
No,
And
KWAZRR.
KWAZRR
going
making the
so-
same exact mistake twice in a row,
That fail state is
having the
not easy
setup.
to get.
Yeah, he has
That means you're
the
slightly too high. No, KWAZRR.
he just got the same fail state 3 times in a row. I think he's just setting it wrong. He's setting it barely too high every time. And
Every
fourth time in a
time! 4
row.
times! What is he doing? He thinks there's something wrong with the settings? That is not what you want to see. Again, 5 times in a row.
Yeah, I do not have any insight on the actual setup here.
6! He's not
This
going
is a
for it. He's not going for it.
meltdown.
What is he doing? Is he... What? He gets a no setup at all.
What?
What?
What is happening? What is
What?
happening with KWAZRR right now?
What? I'm so confused.
And while that was happening, Charizard misses the buttons
Charizard
on
misses the
ice,
buttons.
and
I
Zoda
don't
somehow
know if that's
missing the
gonna matter at this
second
point.
barrier. Zoda missing the second barrier skip twice, 3 times. What is going on?
How did that... Oh my god.
Zoda! No, Zoda, no!
What a few minutes. What are like the
What is
past 2
happening on
minutes?
Zoda's screen? I'm so confused on what is happening. He's just...
Dragon, I think the fast force is affecting this.
Surely, right? There's no way
Surely.
he's just actually failing this that many times.
Surely. Thinking that... No, KWAZRR missing the buttons as well. Oh, he's gonna have to back this up.
This is a disaster for Echo Base, especially for KWAZRR, but also for Charizard. Oh no.
Disaster from everyone, but a bigger disaster from KWAZRR for sure. Pushing the box, interesting. I don't
Yeah,
think that was
Charizard did
intentional.
Charizard did get a 413. That is not what you like to see, but
Oh,
Quasar is actually having
but
even a
C3 better than
much
the button.
worse one.
This is such a sad Echo base.
It is extremely rare to see a 413 being now the best Echo base we're having.
13 being the best. Wow. The lead has to be so big right now just because of that boom skip, man. Just because of the boom skip. Just like getting a solid first Falcon Flight room.
Yeah, Quasar kind of,
It's almost 3 minutes now.
yeah, just losing almost any chance to win this race now. It was still a small chance
Unfortunately.
going into episode 5, but I believe the gap is just too big
It's
now,
too
even with a
large.
disaster.
Even with a disaster. Even with something as large as, let's just say, a missed hut skip. Zota, interestingly, getting the bomb off on the AT-AT before it's vulnerable. Interesting strat. Barely missing the probe droid there.
But Charizard will hope for a good boulder, but I believe any boulder at this point will not make him lose the race. And also Charizard is definitely not on like PB watch anymore, so now he will definitely just be looking for to win the race.
But also, this is now interesting because KWAZRR 234.53 PBT now. He's gonna have to play damn well if he wants to not get leapfrogged. That might be the new goal for him here.
That is true. Now, yeah, Quasar is in very big danger to get leapfrogged by Anonymous. It is very likely now. This boulder speed is pretty chill. I'm liking it.
It's at least 3 targets. That's 4 targets. That is kind of good. That's
Is
the
that
last
the last
one. If this hits. It doesn't hit. Oh, he's getting kind of screwed over.
An unfortunate rotation here. Just checking back, now the gap between Quasar and Zoda is 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Zoda just had a absolute meltdown. He had an 8-minute half there.
8 minute. Oh, wow. That is unfortunate. Of 217. That is a 4 flat from CHARZIGHT. It
That
wasn't
is
the best
definitely
border,
not.
but it's good enough. Missing. Oh, a blank on the. What is he doing in this? Oh, that's unfortunate. Does not want that at this point.
I believe that will take, even with a decent bowler, I believe that will take almost a Quasar's BPT over Anonymous's time.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. It looks like Anonymous will get leapfrogged and KWAZRR will get leapfrogged and Anonymous will find his way into Rung 5 next week, but we don't want to call anything yet. There's still 3 splits left to go. Anything can happen. As we've
Yeah,
seen
I'm
in
not.
Ladder League Season 2 thus far.
Yeah, I'm not sure about 100% sure about Quasar's golds, how much he has space in them, but we'll see.
234.59. And it looks like there is about 2.5 seconds of deviation from CHARZIGHT and KWAZRR here.
Quasar having a pretty good boulder, so getting a much better
It
Falcon
was a
Flight then.
15 seconds better Falcon Flight there just because of the better boulder. What is CHARZIGHT doing? He killed R2 just then.
Yeah, CHARZIGHT was, you don't need to really smack the bats, but he was trying to smack them and accidentally killing Artsu in the
All right.
process.
I believe he's going for DBS, and he's also going for, I hope, Hut Skip, so we'll see how it goes with that. Doesn't swap the players. Is R2 is on keyboard. This is he dies with player one. Dies with player one again. This should be fine. Okay, he should be fine getting the trick now. Should be fine. He's edging up. He's edging up. He gets it. He gets Hut Skip. Does not lose 2 minutes yet.
Oh, and
Can you
we
just
will
play
see
a
this
two drop game?
interesting skipping the dropout here from
That's
CHARZIGHT.
very interesting. Takes a death, but that's okay.
Yeah, so
We see
with
KWAZRR going into.
taking the death, that doesn't actually save any time, unfortunately.
How will KWAZRR go on this Digable button skip is the question. That was a really early jump, but he knows what he's doing. That was very solid.
Oh
No!
no!
KWAZRR failing it there. What is he doing? What is he doing now?
He did
Did
not
he
have
not?
50 hertz.
He didn't have 50 hertz. That is an
Like,
unfortunate way to lose that much time. He knows the
despite
backup
KWAZRR
though.
not having, despite KWAZRR not having 50 hertz, he still kind of was flying with Artsu on
He,
kind of wrong spot, even with 50 hertz, that could have failed.
he just needs to get this. He looks like he's getting hot skip. That's excellent to see. Meanwhile, the rest of Charzight's Dagobah seems very solid.
Yeah, I believe he did have a pretty good cave. It does get the aggro on the bat, so won't be seeing any stupid
Adds false
R2
protection, but
AI.
that's fine. Struggling to get that bat in that position killed.
So now will be, after this, the final stretch for Charizard.
Final stretch, CCT investment.
The ending of every single Lego Star Wars run for the longest time ever. Strategies have changed so many times, and
Yep,
it's
it's
still a massive stress test.
couldn't have said it better myself. It's just so much variance in these last two levels. Which is why we're not calling the race yet. We're not calling it here. We're not calling it until Charizard enters the Falcon in 5-6.
Yeah, and I believe because Quasar did not have 50 hertz, now for sure his BPT is going to be going over Anonymous. So
It's
I don't know if how much time he has.
statistically, he needs 2 goals in a row. Which is
Yeah,
not
exactly.
impossible, but it's absolutely not likely here.
And Quasar dying on this last rim not helping his case.
Again, we're not calling the race here. We just have Charizard entering CCT, and we'll see what he can pull. Small time loss at the start there, but he can afford that.
Actually, does Charizard... I believe he also has a chance of leapfrogging if I'm not
What does he need
completely
to leapfrog?
incorrect. I think it's something around a 231. His BBT might be too high. I'm
I
not
think his BPT
100%
is too
sure.
high. 900 attempts, his goals have to be good at that point, but we'll see what he can do. 226. That is just under 3 minutes into CCT in terms of the lead for CHARZIGHT here.
Um, I got
Solid.
information from the chat that it's 233.23 for the
Oh!
leapfrog.
Oh, that's interesting.
So that is extremely
Falling off.
likely here.
Falling off with R2 here, but small time loss, but we'll see how he executes the trick itself. That looks late. Okay, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, T-Fresh did get the second place who Charizard will be trying to leapfrog.
Okay. Just one more
It's
trick
looking
left for
pretty.
CHARZIGHT. DB3. He nails it! Okay. I don't want to say anything, but it's not looking good for KWAZRR at this point, unfortunately. As he's kind of... Okay, he gets there eventually. I
And
guess
also
CHARZIGHT's just...
not looking good for T-Fresh, and Charizard is missing the panel jump so many times.
He's just... He might be panicking. Okay, he gets it eventually. Let's see what how KWAZRR goes with this with his CCT. Solid panel fly, it looks like, unless he loses the helmet. He doesn't lose the helmet, okay.
So if Charizard does not have a disaster on this Bespin, T-Fresh might be in trouble here.
Yep.
And also Quasar's BPT is now 40 seconds or 35 seconds. No,
This, I
30
will
seconds
say,
behind of Anonymous.
this, the CC, I don't want to say anything into DV3 actually, let's see how it does. Immediately jumps, the second jump's too late, I believe. Not second try. Oh, this isn't looking good. Okay, that's 4. Oh, fifth try, that's not what you want to see, but I suppose it could be worse, but it's definitely not what you want to see at this point in the race. One level to go
Our-
for Charizard.
Yeah, I now don't think there's any chance the lead will change.
Now, we will see Charizard going for GTF here, I believe, and KWAZRR probably will as well, but so we'll probably see some variance there, but yeah, it's not looking good for KWAZRR. Not looking good for him at all.
But actually, if Charizard has a good gold, Charizard does not need GTF to win the race or to leapfrog. He can leapfrog and win the race without
That's true.
GTF.
Will he? He can either go do GTF to prove a point, or he can go safe and secure his massive victory here.
But by how Charizard has been playing, I honestly think he is going for it.
Same. He's the very risky player. He goes for everything. He went for God Fraud almost to his benefit. So it's really a mystery at this point. It gets a 2-cycle. Was that a 1-cycle Boba fight? That was crazy.
Yeah, that was really well performed. And Zoda doing the fight skip. No way.
That's cool. That's a cool way to end it out, Zoda. That's awesome. He's doing Chewy door clip. Not doesn't get it. Gets a second try. He's playing so well. Playing such a good end game right now. Never. I shouldn't have said anything. That. Oh no, that door's not gonna
Leia is
close, is
too
it?
close. Leia.
Okay. Just
Oh,
gets
and he
it.
gets
No
lucky. He
setup.
gets
Gets it.
blessed. He
No
gets
setup.
blessed.
Will he die this time? Still going for the risky thing here.
I believe Charizard did shoot himself there on
That's
accident on the previous attempt.
went very risky there. Alright. He's going for GTF, isn't he? Yep, he's going for it. Almost gets his helmet shot off. That was fairly close. Alright, how will he go with this out of bounds?
Looks good.
He's pause buffering. He gets it out at the last second. Oh, that's unfortunate.
He does get really low height. I don't think even with the pause buffers he could have saved that.
Doesn't get it that try. And we're coming up on KWAZRR's gameplay here. We'll see if he decides to screw it and go for GTF, but don't know. No, he gets... Oh, I think he went down too early, CHARZIGHT, just then.
That is a disaster for Charizard. Oh no. I don't know if T-Fresh should be celebrating yet, but this is a
Do we know what
massive,
exactly time CHARZIGHT
massive
needs to
letdown
leapfrog
for
here?
Charizard. Charizard needs 223, 33, I believe. 230,
33.
233, 23. And Charizard is having a meltdown on this GTF.
KWAZRR's having a meltdown in Chewy door clip. He's not I don't think he's doing it correctly. We're seeing two meltdowns in Bestman in different places. He gets it eventually. Can he close the out of bounds movement out? Doesn't... Oh, it switches players. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do there. Charizard's still on the same out of bounds. What is going on?
Insane.
That could be it. That
Charizard's
could be it. That could be it. Come on. He's out of bounds, isn't he?
Charizard barely catching the collision. That was insanely close to dying.
Alright, Dragon, you're the one who knows stuff about GTF. Did that hit the trigger? Do you think that hit the trigger?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't jump from that position, so that's why I'm just not sure. I jumped earlier with
What's he
Lando
doing?
myself.
KWAZRR's going for it.
He's going for it. I got information in the chat that the setup looked good.
Okay. We don't know whether Charizard's going to be able to leapfrog here, but if he didn't, he'd throw his chances to a very risky trick that he chose to go for and lose time to. Meanwhile, KWAZRR's still going for it. Picking his time to set up the out of bounds here. Oh, just barely hitting the transition there.
Zota jumped while he was doing DVT.
Oh, that's very funny. As I said, the race is not over until Charizard reaches the Falcon here. The race is not over till then.
Giving up on GTF, actually.
Giving up on GTF from KWAZRR, that's crazy.
I don't know what Charizard was doing, but he failed a Chewy box clip for like 3 times, I think, by falling to his death. Just needs to close it out here. Getting it.
Just needs to close it out, and we don't know whether he's good for leapfrog here. 2:33:33. It needs to be faster than that, and we just need to wait for the splits to catch up.
Yeah, 2:33:50 is the
Okay.
final time. And the T-Fresh
Destroying the
is
competition.
barely fine. T-Fresh is barely fine here.
And I think KWAZRR is not going to get leapfrogged, and he's going to be in the dangerous run 6 next week, I believe.
Yeah, definitely with that.
Meanwhile,
Going for GTF and then giving up on it is KWAZRR is not gonna gold by 25 seconds. Will we see serves for the fans?
he nails the first serve.
That was nice.
Oh, I didn't get the second one. That's unfortunate.
And Zoda also finally entering the Bespin intro cutscene.
We'll
And
see
I
what
believe,
time
yeah,
KWAZRR can put up here.
even with all these things Zoda is having, I believe this is still Zoda's best run since coming back so far.
Yep, looks like his BPT says he's on pace for about a 241. Now, do you think he'll go for GDF just for the fans? What do you think he's gonna do?
I think he might go for it.
Right, and that's KWAZRR with a 237.07. That is unfortunately going to get him into rung 6 there. Insane amount of variance in this race. 3.5 minutes between first and second. Both having meltdowns in the same level right at the end. But CHARZIGHT just threw really solid gameplay. He held a commanding lead throughout all of that. And just, yeah, even when he fell off a little bit, he was managed to make it right back. And I think throughout past episode, like from the start of episode 4 to the end of the run, I don't think his lead ever fell short of being 90 seconds.
I believe this is by far the most variance since play-ins in the
Do we know what the
times.
variance was for plans 2 or plans 1? I know plans 1 was 13 seconds between first and second, and the other two players a good few minutes behind. And I know that plans 2 was also very far apart. But I don't know. This could be even more like far apart, which is insane because you just see CHARZIGHT, yeah, just playing so well throughout, and KWAZRR almost making it back for some hope, but just falling short. We
Zoda
see
doing one player door clip.
one player door clip. Maybe that's just his regular strat. We don't know. So it doesn't look like he's going for GTF. He probably doesn't know
Definitely
how, so it
not.
might be a wise decision.
Yeah, I mean, I assume he doesn't know how because there's not really any reason to not go for GTF in this situation.
So we see him going into this mid platform here. Looks like again is on pace for 241. Unfortunately, getting demoted to rung 6 with KWAZRR actually for next race. So
Yeah, I
I
got some
believe
information from the chat that from first compared to last, the first play-in was 5 minutes deviation and the second play-in was 13 minutes deviation. But I don't know if this
okay.
is the biggest deviation between the first and second. I think this definitely could be.
This probably is, yeah.
So
3 and
far in
a
the whole tournament.
actually no, it wouldn't be because the rung 7 run a few days ago had 239. No, never mind actually. No, that's third to second. First to second. Yeah, you could be right here. You could be completely correct in that. Oh, Zoda almost pushing the box too far right there. Let's see if we can get this R2 box clip.
And even though CHARZIGHT not having the best run and having A meltdown, almost losing 2 minutes on GTF, still just winning pretty much by a landslide.
Yeah, and again, it's just there were two times when the lead went. I'm pretty sure there were two times when the lead went from 3 minutes straight to a minute and a half, but then a few splits later, it went back to 3 minutes. That happened twice throughout this run. One time, I believe, in Java's, and the other time in library skip. Just, just meltdowns from everyone. And I think
I
that
believe,
Quasar had a chance into episode 5, given how variant it is, but he just couldn't pull through with as good of an episode 5.
if I'm not wrong, I believe uh, the lead or the placements of the players who's first, who's second, and third did not change after negotiations. I'm not sure the negotiations, but that might be correct.
So the placements have just been identical, even with all the meltdowns, all the time losses. It's just stayed the same. Yeah, and Charles has had the lead from the first split. I'm pretty sure, just dominating all the way through. Even when I guess he didn't think that that was true, he was in fact in the lead by a lot.
Finishing up this end platform now. That is GG. Zota getting
That's GG for Zota.
see what the final timer is, 2:41 19.
241.19.
I believe he tie his gold? I feel like the BPT was almost the same.
Potentially.
Yeah, this is some massive deviation, and I believe we're not having an interview because that race really was not close.
Yeah, it was far away. And there were times when Quasar would have hope. Well, there were times where I was rooting for Quasar. Like, you can do this. There are ways you can claw this back. But unfortunately, just couldn't happen because I guess when, for every time Charizard had a meltdown in a level, Quasar had another. And just, again, could not claw it back. And
See
yeah, it
from
looks
these
like,
these exits, it stayed the same the whole time.
yep, placement stayed the same. It just Yeah, and I'd say the biggest moment of hope for Quasar would have been the start of episode 5, but Boom Skip just cost it. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
he was
it's
just looking at the wrong visual cue. Really unfortunate.
all right. So, I believe we have one last race for week 1 going quite soon. We have Rung 1, the one you've all been waiting for, the one with the world record holders. So, we have Jared, Frostbite, and We Super, May 25th, 6 p.m. EST. That's going to be very hype because the winner of that race, I believe, will automatically qualify for the top 8 elimination bracket after the ladder league itself.
The second place is gonna be racing me and Xenor in rung 1 on week 2, and third places will be demoted to rung 2.
Yes, that is correct, I believe. And I suppose we have a week 2 run scheduled already. May 29th, 1 p.m. EST, Anorak, Revilo, and Phantom.
That'll definitely be exciting, so I hope everyone tunes in for those.
For sure, for sure.